Ready to see what the numbers spit out at? You think it's gonna be good, or do you think it's gonna be bad? Boo! Negative 300 bucks a month. Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Deal Analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. Each and every week, I pick a random house off the internet, analyze it for a cash deal and a creative deal. Let's get into it. This week, we're staying in Georgia, 102 Cole Street in Fuller, Georgia, 31322. Just looked this house up. It seems really nice. It's a four bedroom, three bath, almost 2,200 square feet. Let's take a look at the pictures and kind of dissect this thing a little bit. Two-car garage, nice little patio. I like the floors. Living room probably turned into a playroom. Damn, that kitchen's beautiful. Shaker cabinets, stainless, ceramic on the floor, big open space. And I like that the stairway is basically not right at the front door. And it tucks it away a little bit. Kennedy's in the master, separate laundry room. This place is nice. Level backyard. Looks like a pool community. Yep. Playground. So there's definitely going to be an HOA in here. So let's see if they tell us what that HOA fee is. There it is. $67 a month for HOA. HOA is 67. All right, let's see what else we can find in here. Zillow says it's worth what they're asking. 228 days on the market. Wow. Price improvement. They just made a price drop beginning of this month. Built in 2021, so everything's new. Right, so they did try to rent it at looks like the beginning of 25, and they've been chasing the market down. If we can figure out what they bought it for. Ooh. Now that is a quick turnaround. And they offered more than list. Wow. Hmm. All right. Well, that gives us some good detail in here. So roughly a year ago, this thing sold for 385.5. Taxes seem pretty reasonable. And what do we have here? Well, there's part of the reason it's not selling is there's just a lot of competition out there right now. Um, you can zoom in on that. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff for sale right here. 40, 70, 75. And let's see what else. 384. This house was right next door. When did this sell? All right, so that looks like it closed 384 in July, and then they rented it for 2,600. What else we got in here? Uh-oh, wrong button. I think the market really is just kind of saturated in here. So, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff for sale right in here. All right, so looking at this, I'm going to say our magic number or our ARV after repair value is going to be 375. So ARV 375. All right, so now that we have this, now we're going to jump over to the Invest Nest. I have this property pulled up on the Invest Nest. I love this software. You can skip trace straight from here. Gives you tons and tons of information on mortgages, past sales, location. This will all come into play later. Details on the property. Just a ton and ton of really detailed information. I am going to deviate just a hair because I want to show you some of the other features that they offer. So they obviously have the property search, but one of the things that I like the most because I'm not really organized and I hate using a CRM, this one has one built into it. So every property that I've ever looked at in here is under recent views. If I want to save one, drops in here. If I'm skip tracing, it stays here. If if I make contact, if I'm a wholesaler and I reach out, make contact after skip tracing, then I move them over to analyze. Taking the next step, then we jump into make an offer, and then under contract, and then even from there, then if it just falls apart, then I can put it in archived. It doesn't delete it, but I can always go back and check. So just say I make an offer and it gets declined, but then 2 months later, that wholesaler or seller reaches back out. Hey, I'm ready to do something. Are you still interested? I can pull it up in the archived, and everything is right there. And if I do close on it, then I just add it to my portfolio here. So phenomenal, phenomenal software, and check it out. I'll put my link below. If you use my code Chris Thompson Real Estate at checkout, you save 50% off the first month. I think right now they're only charging like 15 bucks a month. There's tons of other software out there. If you're using something else, great, continue to use it. But check this thing out. You get a week for free. So let's jump back in and analyze this thing. All right, so I want to go to the calculator. And we're going to name this 102 full purchase price. All right, so our ARV we're saying is 375. And on a cash price, we're going to offer 70% of that. So 375 times 70% is 262,500. 262,500. 262,500. Closing costs, we're factoring about 2%. Our hard money costs are going to be, there's generally points involved with that. So 2 points for that. Improvements, it's only a 4-year-old house. And from the pictures, it looks in great shape. I only want to put 20% down. And I want a 30-year term. Rates will go with about 7.5 because I think that's roughly where they're at right now. Rental income. All right, so this is saying it's not sure. From Zillow, I think we were looking like 25, 26. As you know, I always like to check the HUD site just to see what Section 8's paying to kind of give us a better range, a better ballpark. I'll drop the link for this in the description as low, in the description below as well. And so this is a 4-bedroom. So they're gonna pay up to $24.59 a month. I generally knock about $200 off of that. So to play it safe, let's just go with 2,200. Seem fair? Our rental price is going to be 2,200. We jump back to the nest and 2,200. Property taxes. It's not pulling up in here, so we jump back to see what The Zillow says 3482. 3482. Insurance is going to be do nice single family like this, probably about 125 a month. So 1500. Our management fee is going to be 10%. And Zillow did put in the HOA, which is 67 a month. And our war chest, I love a war chest. Got to have a war chest. Repairs, maintenance, vacancy, and CapEx. So we might be able to remove this CapEx for the first couple of years, but for now, for this example, we'll keep it at 15%. Appreciation, rent increase, hold it in roughly 10 years. We are real estate investors. We don't pay full commission. All right. Ready to see what the numbers spit out at? You think it's going to be good or do you think it's going to be bad? Boo! Negative 300 bucks a month. So coming in significantly lower than what they're asking, we're still looking at losing $300 a month. So clearly not a good cash deal. And one thing with the InvestNest, you can come in and adjust the price, the down payment, adjust the rate, the term, whatever we need to do to figure out what numbers we need to punch in to make a deal happen. So you don't have to go back and re-edit everything. You can just play with it right here. But for $62,000, you can lose 300 bucks a month. The negative almost 6% cash on cash return. Yeah, just not a not a sound investment, at least in the numbers that I would look for. Just to break even, you're looking somewhere between 10 and 15 years. I don't know about you, but my pockets are not that deep. All right, now that we've realized that this is a bad cash deal, let's analyze it for a creative deal to see if we can make the numbers work better. This is my creative calculator. It's on my website. You can go download it. I don't charge for it. Use it, love it. My contract is on there, and also my creative analysis checklist is on there as well. Use them, love them. All right, so we said ARB is 375. Purchase price. What did they pay for this? They paid, I think, really close to like 380, right? Yeah, 385. So let's see what we can make work on a 350. All right, purchase price is going to be 350. We're asking for seller financing, so we're going to give them a 2% interest rate. And to factor in our, added a button there. Good. Our PITI, or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, which is essentially our monthly payment. I always like to use Bankrate for this. Super simple software, and it's readily available. So our purchase price, we said, is going to be what, 350? We are going to offer 5% down, 2% interest rate. Zip code was 322. Yes. Oh. Buttons. Our monthly property tax is 291. 291. Our homeowners insurance, we said, was 125 a month. And we can factor in our HOA payment here as well, which we said was 67 a month. All right, so that brings it down pretty good. So all of these things involved. So it's PITI, that's only two, PITI plus HOA. So it's factoring in all five. 1712. Plug this into our calculator, is 1712 a month. Our potential rents we said were 2,200. Gross cash flow 488, and we're still at a loss with this. So still not a great creative deal even at 350. Hmm. What if we offer them 1% interest? If we do 1%, change this to 1%. Wow. That's like 200 bucks a month. All right, 150, excuse me, 1,552. That would be 1,552. All right, so at least we got it to be positive. Um, so 98 bucks a month, still not great, but let's see what our cash is going to cost us. So our down payment would be the cash to the seller, and that number was 17,500. 17,500. Agent's clearly not getting it done. We'll offer them 500 bucks to go away. There is no assignment fee because we're doing this deal ourselves and we're not getting it from a wholesaler. Closing costs, I'm factoring about 3.5% covering everything. Cost of renos, we said was 0, 2 months of carrying, which is just 2 months of that PITI plus HOA, nothing in arrears, and a good TC is about $1,000. So for 3,500 bucks, or excuse me, $35,000, you can make about 100 bucks a month. Not a great deal, even even at a 1% interest rate. You'd almost have to get this thing for 0 down and 0% interest. Just, yeah, again, not a great deal. What are you going to do? Maybe on the next one, we'll find a good deal. Well, numbers don't lie. It's not a good cash deal and it's not a good creative deal. This is 102 Cole Street in Polar, Georgia, 31322. Thanks for tuning in this week. As always, the links will be below. If you want to try out the Invest Nest, use my code Chris Thompson Real Estate at checkout. The link is below. If you want to check out my website, christhompsonteam.com, link is below. Same thing with Bankrate and the HUD site. So I hope you found this valuable. If you did, show me some love. Give me a follow. Give me a like. Give me a comment. I really appreciate it. It helps all of the back end stuff tell people that, hey, I'm worth watching. If you don't, if you don't like what I'm producing, tell me that as well. So hopefully I can change it. Either way, I appreciate you taking a look at this, and we will see you here next week in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. We'll see you next week.